you can see here that there's this disconnect, this transferable process steps. We interviewed foundries and asked them, what are the most important things to your customers? And they didn't mention this. But then we asked the manufacturers, what do you want? And so there's clearly a disconnect that maybe device manufacturers are saying, yes, I want these transferable process steps. Just kidding. And just close that out. I'm really sorry. Probably show you the weather in Pittsburgh next, just so you're ready for that. So here are some trends from yesterday's event. Communication is key when dealing with between device manufacturers and their foundries. The trend is definitely fabless. If you have a captive fab, God bless you. There will be no more captive fabs built, in my opinion, in the near future. And so fabless is coming. So the relationship between foundry and device manufacturer, communication is critical. I mean, it's challenging in this global world with volcanoes erupting over the Atlantic. It's a challenging thing to deal with. Cost clearly is important. Standardization. We've been talking about standardization in MEMS for, I don't know, 20 years. But now it seems like there's a discussion about it a little bit less, a little more public. It's coming out of the closet. But the challenge is, who's going to lead that and who's going to pay for that? Right, Rob? And I'm not. And so those are some of the trends and the future of fabless, like I said. It's fabulous and fabless. So here are some highlights. We had a couple of panels as well as our working group sessions. And some of the key, just like Roger was saying earlier, the commoditization of MEMS, cost, performance, and function. You don't have to just pick two anymore. That's what's really exciting about MEMS. It's about selling the solution, and the latest MEMS Holy Grail is definitely wafer-level packaging, which is something that all these guys, you guys in the room, are experts in, right? And you're all going to be rich. And so then our other panel was the many faces of MEMS fabrication. So it's fabless, fab light, and captive in-house. You're seeing clearly increased consolidation. A few of the companies in this room have been bought and sold in the last 6 months. That's going to happen. That's going to continue. Therefore, partnering with the right fab is sort of like a complicated and sophisticated marriage courting process. And one thing that was interesting, and I've actually heard a little bit more about, there's room for improvement in MEMS equipment. There's clearly some leaders in MEMS equipment with TSV, etc., but there's some room for improvement there. This is a list of the working groups that we had. You'll see that what we like to do is we break things into business and then into technical. So the folks that come to MEPTEC kind of typically bifurcate. Some people like to, walk both, and that's okay. But it's all, again, focused on MEMS fabrication. And then we ask these questions of them, and it's a roundtable discussion. There are no talking heads. We have moderated working group panelists, but moderators. But the idea is that it's an open discussion where peers are talking about technical challenges and how they're going to overcome them. So these are the questions that they are posed. And then the last item, this is something new that we're initiating. We're creating action committees that have formed already to take the recommendations that each of these working groups came up with. We're going to rank them ideally and prioritize them. But in the next few months and years, we're going to lead those. One of those is a list of a checklist for dealing with a foundry to help increase that communication and visibility and move it forward. This is quickly the conclusions. Obviously, communications. Can you hear me now? Communication is really important. Think outside the chip. I do like that quote. It works. Can you say roadmap, not road trip? I mean, I think the idea is that there is a need for specific areas of MEMS. And granted, there's a lot out there, but there's a need to come together and discuss a roadmap. There are groups like INEMI, lots of groups, I'm doing my hand, that are, and MIG is going to be partnering with SEMI and NIST to do these things. This is no surprise, and there's a few successes that we can talk about. We actually started a list of successful fabless companies in MEMS, but we need you guys to make more money, okay? So it's up to you to hit some home runs, hire some good PR, and marketing and make some more money, okay? It'll really help us all in the long run. I think that's the idea, is that the MEMS industry needs to make more money and it needs to gain more respect within the community, and it's up to you guys, okay? And then at the last is, a plug for MIG membership. I encourage you to come, I have a tabletop over there, come talk to me if you're not already a member of MEMS Industry Group. Come join our merry band, and it will help you make more money in the MEMS industry. That's what we're about. All right, and with that, I'm on time. Thank you very much.